December 7th, 2018, the Massachusetts Export Center held its 9th annual Export Expo. The Export Expo is the state's largest and most important event of the year, bringing together resources, training, and information for the local exporting community. The event includes an exhibit area featuring government, nonprofit, and private sector service providers serving the export community. The Export Expo also features influential guest speakers, workshops, and panel discussions on a variety of export-related topics. The 2018 Export Expo opened with Aaron Ennis, Senior Vice President of the U.S.-China Business Council, who provided an update on U.S.-China trade relations and guidance for businesses as they navigate the rapidly changing trade environment with China.
So the impact of the 301 tariffs has varied depending on the company that's involved, but also the products that's involved. So in some ways, the companies who have the most obvious impact are those who import something into the United States from China, be it an input or a finished product. Those companies in general have seen increases in costs of what the products are. China has retaliated against the U.S. tariffs as well, though. So U.S. products, be they finished products or inputs as well, going into China have also seen increases in prices.
Also joining the Expo lineup was guest speaker Clay Lowry, former Assistant Secretary of the Treasury for International Affairs and Chair of the Committee on Foreign Investment in the U.S., or CFIUS, who provided an update on new foreign investment restrictions and the recent rollout of the CFIUS pilot program.
So the key developments are a few things. First, it expands the jurisdiction to capture commercial real estate and non-passive, non-controlling foreign investment into the national security space. A lot of that has to be defined in a rulemaking process. Second key development is something called the pilot project, which is about critical technology. And right now, there's a change that you have to file if you receive a foreign investment that is above passive investment, but below controlling investment into critical technology. Those two things are the key developments on CFIUS.
The 2018 Export Expo featured many special guests, including keynote speaker Richard Ashew, Assistant Secretary of Commerce for Export Administration, who provided an update on U.S. export control policy, including the impact of the new Export Control Reform Act and enhanced export controls on emerging technologies.
So the most prominent thing we're doing right now is implementing the concept around emerging technologies, and where we are exactly on that is seeking public comment. This is an area where we know we're going to need outside experts. We generally rely on outside experts, but we've really structured this advance notice of proposed rulemaking to help us on the front end of how we might define technologies that may or may not be controlled, but definitely need to be considered, and that's a major focus for us.
This year's Expo also included a stop on the U.S. International Trade Commission's listening tour in preparation for a possible trade agreement between the U.S. and the U.K. The Export Expo featured expert speakers addressing a range of current issues affecting exporters, including trade policy, export compliance, global risk management, export controls, economic sanctions, and more.
Obviously, Iran sanctions has been a big change in everything that's gone on. I think that what we've seen, that to me that's the most interesting, is the use of what I call the thematic sanctions programs to implement more than just what you expect. So, for example, the Magnitsky human rights sanctions, we've seen those implemented against actors in Venezuela, in Nicaragua, the Jamal Khashoggi thing. So I think that we've seen some of the non-country-based sanctions programs become more of an interesting foreign policy tool for the administration this year.
We're seeing so many questions on pharma and the pilot program rule, And I thought that was good too because that really ties in nicely into export controls. Right? CFIUS looks at so many different aspects of a transaction, not just export controls like government contracts, critical infrastructure, but now it really ties in through the pilot program rule into export controls, which is why we're here, right?
The recent advance notice for proposed rulemaking, the ANPNR, which is addressing the emerging technologies as well as the next one which will come out addressing foundational technologies, are of concern because we have a fairly diverse business that a number of our businesses fall into that. So we have robotics, autonomous vehicles, AI, big data, semiconductors, integrated circuits, so all of those are impacting our business, and it's just the uncertainty. We don't know where this is going to go. We've operated in an era of very low level of export controls for the last 15 years, and we're just really hopeful that it doesn't go into the opposite direction.
Join us for this year's Export Expo on Friday, December 13th, 2019.